Hey, Andrew here from the Investors Way, and welcome to a new Money Monday. We had a bit of a break last week for everyone to celebrate Australia Day, and for those not in Australia, sorry that you missed out on that one. But today I want to talk about 5 things that rich people do to keep getting richer. So you've probably got your full-time income, and you're wondering how you turn maybe your $50,000 or $80,000 or $100,000 a year into something that can support you in your future, in your retirement, and your money goals. And so you may have struggled in the past to think about what are some of the things that you can do, and why is it that people with money continue to be able to grow more and more. And so to grow your wealth, no matter what your starting point, we want to follow some of the habits of the wealthy. And one of the things that I've learned over the years is that the easiest way to be successful at anything is to follow someone who's done it before, whether it's sport, money, education, anything. If you follow people who've been there, done that, you can learn from what they did to be successful. So what are the 5 things that the rich people do to keep getting richer? So number 1, they make their money work for them. And so that might sound pretty simple and straightforward for a site that's predominantly focused on investing, but we shouldn't overlook the fact that the wealthy get their money working for them in investments. So whether that's stocks or property or cash-based investments, they use their surplus each month. And if you haven't got a surplus, or you don't know how to create a surplus, then you really need to get our 5 Steps to Financial Freedom program, which I'll put a link in the comments. Or actually, why don't you comment, I want 5 steps, in the comments, and if you want it, I will then send you the link, and that way we'll know we're sending it to people who really want it. So they use their surplus to invest in stocks or property or cash-based investments and get that money working for them. So their mindset is about buying something that can make them money, rather than something that's going to just consume their money. So rather than buying a brand new lounge or car or something like that, they will buy investments that will help them grow their assets, and therefore their cash flows, and therefore the cumulative power of all that money working for them. So that's number 1. Number 2, they focus on how to increase their income. So they have a mindset again, and most of this is all mindset based, but they have a mindset that is all about how can they increase their income. And that might be from creating side hustles, or it might be doing, in your case, where a side hustle may not be something you can contemplate right now. It might be doing extra hours and getting paid for those hours, or having a second income stream from exchanging your time, which is not the ideal scenario to start with. But when you're starting out, it's all about how can you increase your income as quickly and as easily as possible to get that money working for you, which we talked about in step 1. And they also think about how do they build their skills. And the more skills they have, the more valuable you are, which may mean a pay increase or opportunity to derive more income. So it's all about increasing your income and getting that income working for you. So that's 1 and 2 working together. Then the third one is they've got some daily success rituals. And that's not smoking peace pipes and things like that. These are rituals that develop habits. And what we've discovered from people who are successful at anything is that they have very specific habits. And this can be things like getting up early, having an absolute regimental exercise routine, and having a plan of what they're going to do each day. So they do all of these things first up in the morning so that they can plan their day. So rather than their day happening to them, their day is planned and it goes how they want it to go, rather than how most people live their life, which is letting life happen to them and reacting to whatever happens or comes into their sphere. So the successful people, they plan their day. They know what are the three absolute things that they have to get done in that day to make sure that they achieve what it is that will move them forward throughout the day, and then the week and the month and so forth. So they've always got a plan of the three big things that they want to get done each day, and they start their day with, generally they'll start it with getting up early, drinking lots of water, exercising, and then planning their day so that their day goes how they want it to, rather than it just happening to them, which is the default for most people. So that's number 3. Number 4, they set financial goals and they put a dollar value and a time frame to them. So they're a lot more specific. So rather than just saying, I'd like to have lots of money, or I'd like to grow my wealth, or whatever, they're a little bit more specific. And it might be, I'd like to have invested $10,000 by the end of and pick a month, or pick an end of year. So they put a date and a dollar value as to what they're trying to achieve. And then that means when they're setting their plans, their daily plans and their weekly plans of what they're going to do, they know what actions they've got to take to achieve that goal. So if it's $10,000 invested by the end of 2020, then they know what they've got to do to achieve that goal. And it's not something that they hope will happen. It's something that they're actively pursuing to happen, and they're setting aside not only time but also money to making that goal of having invested $10,000 by the end of 2020 and make it happen. So being specific means that you're starting to delve into the subconscious. You're getting your subconscious working for you as well. So you're telling it what you want to happen, and it will then help you to create the actions and the mindset required to achieve that goal. So that's number 4. And then number 5, and this one is probably one of the most important, is that they have a mindset that is set to abundance. So again, most people go around living their life with a scarcity mindset, and it's not necessarily your fault. It can be a factor of how we've been brought up, but generally people live in this scarcity mindset. So everything is scarce, everything is in short supply, and they have this mindset of they can't have more money because it's just not meant for them. Whereas the wealthy and the rich people, they have this abundance mindset where they believe there's enough money for everybody, and they go about making sure that it comes to them. And by living with an abundance mindset, you are actually opening yourself up to more money coming to you. So you've probably heard me talk before about having affirmations, and one of my favorite ones is money flows easily to me. That's an abundance affirmation, rather than sitting back and thinking, gee, money's hard to come by, because if you put out the energy of money being hard to come by, then it comes back to you. That's everything is energy. And so if you're putting out that energy of scarcity and that money's hard to come by, then it will be, because that's the energy you're putting out. So this is one of the biggest differences between those who are making money and making money on top of making money, so getting richer and wealthier, is that they believe there's enough for everybody, and that there will be enough for them, and that money will flow easily to them because they have this mindset of abundance. So 5 pretty simple steps there that you could start to implement into your life right now. Starting tomorrow, you could take one a day and start implementing them, so that you're doing one extra each day. So within a week, you can have all 5 of these working for you. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be rich by a week's time, but by implementing these 5 steps, you can be on the path, and on the right path, to creating more money in your life, and therefore creating a secure financial future. So let me know in the comments which one of these you're going to do starting from tomorrow. And if you want to get access to our 5 Steps to Financial Freedom program, so that you can create your surplus and get that automation into your money life sorted, then just comment 5 steps, and we'll send you a link in Messenger so that you can get your hands on that straight away. So that's it for this week's Money Monday. Hope you have a great week. And as I said, leave us a comment. Let us know which one of these 5 habits of the wealthy that you're going to start applying from tomorrow. Have a great week.